everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Ivy, and today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite styling tips, which is actually body shapes. This is a topic that is not new whatsoever. It's a topic that I feel like resurfaces every few years, but it has been so helpful in determining my personal style and figuring out what looks best on me and what I feel the most confident in. And so I wanted to share it all with you as well in case you weren't aware of the different body shapes there were and how to style them. With that being said, I do want to give a disclaimer before we start. We are going to be looking at our bodies to determine our body shape, and if doing so is going to cause any kind of mental distress or harm to yourself, I do recommend that you skip today's video and wait for my future videos that have to do with styling that don't necessarily contain looking at our bodies. My goal with this channel is always to make sure that we are all feeling our best and our most confident, and if looking at your body and determining your body shape is not going to help you do that, don't worry, we will cover other ways to help you feel your most confident in the future. And if you are planning on staying in today's video, I am just going to jump right into it. So before we talk about what body shapes there are and how to style each one of them, I do need to talk about how to exactly determine your body shape. So I am not someone that is big on measurements. I don't like to take my own measurements unless I am online shopping, which I rarely do. So the way that I determined my body shape was actually by taking a picture of myself from an even level far away. And I actually just on my iPad, I made a line from my shoulder to shoulder, from right above my belly button to determine my waist, and then I did a third line from my two hip bones. So that is what helped me figure out my body shape. Now there are ways to calculate exactly what body shape you are based on the specific measurements of those body parts. So if you'd like to do that instead, I will also link in the description a way for you to calculate what body shape you are based on your specific measurements, if that's something that you would rather do, or if you're struggling with figuring out your body shape still. I also want to say that you can be more than one body type. I myself feel that I fall between two different body types, so I use the two different shapes to determine what clothes to wear and what looks best on me. I will also say that your body is going to change so many times throughout your life, and so it is just so important and I think very liberating to know how to style your body for the different seasons of life that you are going to go through. The biggest focus of today's topic is finding balance in the body. So there is no one body shape that is the best. There is no one body shape that is more beautiful than the other. With all of that being said, we're going to jump right into the 5 different body shapes and how exactly to style them, and also what not to style them with. The first body shape that we're going to talk about today is the pear or triangle body shape. Now this body shape basically is going to be when your hips are wider than your upper body. So if you have a narrow top and a wider bottom, just like a triangle or like a pear. What you want to do if you have a pear or triangle body shape is to actually add volume to your top half. You can do this with puffy sleeves, a boat neck, or one of my favorites, off the shoulder tops. And for the bottom half, you can look into flare pants, wide leg, or high-waisted pants. Now if you have a pear or triangle body shape, some cuts to avoid include tight bottom pieces, boxy tops that essentially match where your hips are. So if you have a boxy top, you don't want it to hit where your widest part of your hips are, or else you're going to give more of a rectangle shape. And for the shoes, I would avoid wearing flats and aim for more of a heel or pointed toe. It elongates our bottom half and minimizes the width of our hips. The second body shape that we're going to talk about is the rectangle or straight body shape. So this is essentially when your top half matches with your bottom half, or your shoulders match your hips with little waist definition. To style the rectangle or straight body shape, we want to create some dimensions with our body by defining the waist as much as we can. We want to highlight any of those beautiful curves that we have and create visual interest. So you can do this with asymmetrical design, with layering. You can also do this with flowy fabrics. Some cuts to avoid for the rectangle or straight body shape are anything high-waisted, anything boxy, or structured fabrics. The third body shape that we're going to talk about is the round or apple body shape. So this is essentially when your shoulders are broad with very narrow hips and little to no waist definition. What you want to do if you have a round or apple body shape is to emphasize your neckline with V-shape, scoop neck, or jewelry. You can also use structured pieces, monochrome outfits, A-line skirts or dresses, or anything basically that elongates your figure. Now, some things that you want to avoid for the round or apple body shape: anything with too much fabric, tight clothing or oversized clothing, short hemlines on top like crop tops or jackets, low-rise bottoms, or bottoms with details around the waist essentially. The fourth body shape that we're going to talk about is the hourglass body shape. So this is a body shape that you've most likely heard of. Most people know of the hourglass, and it is essentially when your hips and your shoulders are the same width with a very slim and defined waist. So with the hourglass body shape, what you want to do is to highlight your curves actually. So any kind of tight clothing or stretchy fabric is going to be very flattering on this body shape. Some examples are like belts, high-waisted pants, V-neck tops, flare bottoms, or belted dresses. Also any kind of mid-length top. Now, some cuts to avoid if you have an hourglass shape are, again, boxy or oversized pieces, low-rise bottoms, any kind of high neckline like a turtleneck makes your chest look a little bit larger and offsets the balance. Hourglass body shape already has balance, and so we don't want to off-center that balance. Now, the last body shape that we're going to talk about today is the inverted triangle body shape. Now, this is one that I actually had to learn the hard way how to style because it is one of the two body shapes that I tend to go back and forth between. The inverted triangle body shape is essentially when your shoulder or your chest is wider than your hips. So it literally creates an upside down triangle. Now, if you want to style the inverted body shape, you want to keep everything above the waist simple. Again, we want balance, and so if we already have a wide upper body, we want to kind of create volume on the bottom half by also minimizing additional volume on the top half with a V-neck or a scoop neck or sweetheart tops. It also means having minimal details on top. So again, I'm in an inverted triangle, so I can talk a little bit more about this body shape, but I love minimal jewelry, and so that is one way that I highlight my bottom half is by minimizing the details on the top with minimalistic jewelry. Also, dark tops with light bottoms or blazers with waist definition. Now, some cuts to avoid if you have an inverted triangle body shape are any kind of wide neckline or tight bottom like skinny jeans, unbalanced tops. A heavy sweater is a good example. A really wide, boxy, heavy sweater is going to highlight the wide upper body that you have. Something else to avoid are horizontal stripes or baggy styles. And with that being said, those are the 5 body shapes and how best to style them. Now, there is so much more that I most likely didn't cover regarding body shapes in this video, so this is definitely just going to be the first of many related to this topic. I really hope that you learned something from this video and that you are able to apply it to your own body shape. Just a reminder as well that your body is beautiful just the way it is, and there is no one better body shape than the other. And you deserve to feel the most happy and confident with whatever you're wearing, and I hope today's video helps you do that. Please subscribe and stay for future videos. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you for the next one.